Hello, Partisia community. Welcome back to another Q&A session with Monadi. Today we have an exciting Q&A session on our sustainability focus this week. We'll be diving into the link between sustainability and blockchain and the important work of Partisia Blockchain and Monadi. Before we begin, I'd just like to take a moment to introduce the topic of sustainability. At Partisia Blockchain, we believe in the power of blockchain technology to drive positive change and contribute to a more sustainable future. Our solutions are specifically designed to address the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I'm just going to give a few examples of our solutions that link to SDGs and also that link nicely to Monadi and what they're working on. So firstly, we have climate action, which links nicely to our data sharing solution. And this enables transparent sharing of environmental data to support any sort of climate monitoring, analysis, and informed decision making. Then we have an interoperability, bring your own coin solution, and this enables seamless transactions and exchanges in sort of any renewable markets, energy, renewable markets, and sustainable finance. And then we have our peace, justice, and strong institutions goal, which links nicely to our private voting solution. And this promotes transparency and secure voting systems to sort of ensure any fair and inclusive elections that safeguard privacy and protect against sort of manipulation or any tampering of different voting processes. And then we have our preventing front running solution, which increases integrity and fairness in legal justice systems by preventing sort of any unfair advantages, corruption or manipulation that sometimes happens. And then we have our partnerships for goals, which links nicely to our data sharing solution, which promotes collaboration and data sharing among different organisations, governments, and stakeholders who also want to achieve the sustainable development goals. And then we have our secret survey solution, which allows people to conduct confidential surveys among sort of different organisations and partner with them, which means that they can gather valuable feedback, insights, and lots of different sort of perspectives. I'd now like to hand over to Monadi, who will be discussing how they plan to integrate these sustainability principles into their work. Just in case anyone missed our last Q&A session, would you mind just sharing a bit about yourselves and what Monadi is?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for the invitation, Amana. Firstly, my name is Radu Pavel. I'm originally from Romania, and I'm the co-founder of Monadi. And I'm together here with my other co-founder, Vilma Catani from Finland. We're both based in Amsterdam, and we're working on a platform to manage sustainability data and reporting for CSRD, called, of course, Monadi. CSRD stands for Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, and it's a regulation imposed by the EU that is starting and it's in effect by 2024. Such regulations require companies to disclose information on their environmental, social, and governance impact. So basically what we have found in here is a business opportunity where we could implement Partisia's technologies, the blockchain technologies offered by Partisia, such as zero knowledge and multi-party computations, as one of the biggest challenges in our industries is data privacy and security. So with technologies such as MPC, we can strictly and securely handle private data from companies, but also provide an insightful outcome for their yearly reports, such as CSRD and other regulations that the EU is requiring at the moment.
Great, sounds good, thank you. So how does Monadi plan to incorporate these ESG principles and sustainable development goals into your work?
So in order to incorporate ESG principles into any company, the first step is always to identify the biggest ESG challenges in your industry or your operational environment, the type of company you are, etc. So we did this for Monadi, and based on the ESG challenges that we have identified, we will create a sustainability action plan for both the product and the company itself, in order to address these challenges. When you create action plans, the actions should be measured through concrete KPIs for which there are set targets and a timeline. while at the same time showing the positive ESG impact that these actions are creating. So for Monadi, as a product and a company, we identified three main challenges currently, so far, that we need to act upon. The first one is energy consumption of the product itself. So as we're an IT company and we're planning on incorporating blockchain technology into the product, we need to address energy efficiency and energy that we are going to consume. So our plan is to create an energy mitigation plan, which we will then measure against SDG number 7, which is about ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for everyone.
Yeah.
So the first one is energy consumption. Secondly, there is data privacy and security. So when we think about data privacy and security, blockchain technology inherently promotes transparency and immutability, which in a sense also can be a conflict with individual privacy rights. So while public blockchains now offer this transparency, then certain application handling, like sustainability data, for example, is not suitable for handling sensitive data and maybe complying then with the data protection regulations like the GDPR. So we then chose Partisia due to these technologies that Radu already mentioned, so MPC and zero knowledge. And this design choice, we believe, will help create positive impact on the SDG number 17, which is about strengthening the means of implementation and revitalizing the global partnerships for sustainable development. So basically leaving no one behind. And SDG 17 is really about timely data and transparency and disclosure, etc. So we believe that Partisia will be a great fit. Then we have the final, the third one is about the image of blockchain. We know that there have been discussions and there is a slight challenge with the image of blockchain. So users often associate it with only crypto and also assume that there are only data validation protocols that use a lot of energy. So there is a slight negative tone to it currently. So we want to demystify this by creating knowledge, data sharing, etc., and also allowing Monadi to be open source for at least a year, so that companies can also use the technology to incorporate into their own applications, etc. So those are the three main themes that we have currently identified and that we're going to really focus on. And for the SDG part, then that would be mainly on SDG number 17, so partnership for the goals, SDG 7, which is to ensure affordable and clean energy for everyone.
Great, thank you. I think that links nicely to our next question, which is how does Monadi intend to measure and track its progress towards achieving these goals?
Okay, so we currently are working with a platform called SDG Monitor. I'm actually here with the founder and the CEO of SDG Monitor, where we intend to manage and measure all of our sustainability actions and initiatives. SDG Monitor is a free software as a service tool for companies and any type of organization, basically, to measure their sustainability performance. They can pair their actions with their most suitable SDGs, and of course, manage their data and communicate any type of ESG impacts they have. This platform and this service will be used for both internal and external communication in our company. And the most important metric that we are looking for at the moment to measure is how many companies will actually be using Monadi. We'll have to calculate the baseline, of course, set a target and identify any data points where we can work on and, of course, improve.
And yeah, so how does Monadi ensure transparency and sort of accountability in its sustainability efforts, sort of internally and externally?
Yeah, so how we're planning to build the platform is to firstly try to have features that will include everyone in the company. So how can we include all employees and other stakeholders into data collection so that they see how the actions that they are how their actions and the data that they're contributing to will also contribute to the overall sustainability goals. So it is very important to not only see sustainability as one part of the company or only group level, for example, but it's very important that everyone is part of this. Secondly, we also want to have a strong data management, and this to be the core foundation of the tool. So we want to create also features that we call data trails currently, which will help us track where the data is coming from who it is coming from, how reliable the source is, etc. We believe that it's so essential to be able to track down the source. And then, of course, also include any methodologies and be transparent about that as well for any methodology that we're going to use for any computation.
Great, thank you. And in what ways does Monadi sort of plan to incorporate and work with different organizations and stakeholders to increase its impact on sustainability efforts?
So in order to bring as much traction to what we're working on at the moment and kind of bring the community together, in a sense, in this industry, we have found that we should be focusing on CSRD, that is our immediate concern. And of course, the most natural collaboration for this will be the EU, the European Union, and basically any other type of organizations that are a part of creating the standards. There's these standards called ESRS, the European Sustainability Reporting Standards, and the main group that is working within creating such documentations is EFRAG, the European Financial Reporting Advisory Group, which we are always closely following and reading upon any type of documents and trying to get in contact with them. But also we hope to create a platform that allows collaboration between companies themselves, between them and any other stakeholders they might have, as in auditors, contributors to their data, or any type of consultants basically that are involved with a company's environmental impact, of course, but mostly what is focused at the moment within CSRD.
Great, thank you. I think that was most of the questions that I had. I'm not sure if you had anything else to add, or if you wanted to give a little bit of info about the best way for people to keep up to date with your project and what you're working on.
Awesome. So the best way to get in contact with us at the moment is through our LinkedIn pages. You can find them in the description below, of course. And in July, we'll come out with a communication plan where we'll be setting up our social media pages, our landing page, and we'll, of course, present our first version of the application. And
which we hope that will be done by the end of August.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.